After months of waiting, Elden Ring's new DLC, Shadow of Erdtree, is about to come out. And since I'm a huge fan of the game, I thought that it would be a great idea if I decided to make some items from the game and 3D print them. So, as you probably judged from the title of this video, I'll be 3D modeling some talismans from the game in Blender, and then 3D printing them. The first talisman that I'll be making is the green dog talisman, which raises stamina recovery speed for the player. I started off by trying to model in Blender the basic proportions of how I wanted the turtle to look. I tried best to work off of reference to try and keep everything to the correct scale. I created the body, the legs, the tail, the neck, and the head, and tried to match them up with how the image looked. I then created the eyes and the ring that goes with the mouth, and then made sure to shape things so that they generally matched the image that I had to work off of. And finally, I decided to remesh it and then smooth everything down just so that it looked nice. From there, I went and worked on the details on the back of the shell trying to follow the reference. I think I did a decent job, but it isn't completely accurate because of the perspective. However, this is a pretty good model and I decided to go with it. Next, I created the Ritual Sword Talisman, which raises your attack power whenever your HP is at maximum. First, I created a plane to trace around the general shape of the talisman. Because most of these icons are kind of angled with a perspective, I'm not able to get everything to an accurate scale, but I tried my best. I continued to work my way down through the talisman and try and make sure that everything had a general accurate shape. Next, I extruded and remeshed and then smoothed the whole thing down just to make it look nice. From there, I started working on some of the details. I started creating some of the raised sections that were at the bottom, and then try and make that sort of bony structure, as well as try and make some of the accents and details that were on the top. I created the little gems that were kind of embedded in the side, and then I also tried and create some of those patterned swirls that were near the center of the talisman. This took me a while to kind of get right, mostly because of the perspective, but eventually I was able to end up with a result that I liked. Then I modeled the part that connects to the ring. At first I kind of filled this when I tried to do it just by hand, but then I decided to make it completely as the actual 3D model rather than a rematched gold. Finally, I joined and then smoothed down everything. And then I had my model. It wasn't 100% accurate, but I was happy. And now finally, the Scorpion Charms. There are 4 in the game, and each of them increases your elemental damage while lowering your damage negation. For the reference, I decided to go off of the Sacred Scorpion Charm since it has the clearest image. From there, I modeled a basic outline of scorpions, making sure to kind of work my way along the segments, so the topology was halfway decent. I extruded and remeshed the model, and then smoothed everything down. Then I began to model each of the little segments that were on the scorpion. The bottom scorpion actually has indented segments, but the top one has raised segments, so I had to alternate between the two in order to make sure that it looked accurate to the reference that I had. From there, I went back and refined some of the details of the scorpions, just to make sure that they were more clearly pronounced, and then I went back and refined some of the details on the rock. From there, the model was complete. And now for the big reveal. I think that the models came out pretty well considering the fact that I printed them on a cheap FDM printer. Unfortunately though, the back sides of the prints didn't fare too well considering the fact that support material was pretty difficult to remove. In the future, I'd like to try this out with an actual resin printer so that I can get some better quality results. But until then, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoy seeing this type of content, and I'll see you guys later.